Hi everyone, this is your weekly horoscope prediction with me, Lada from Astrology.com, and this is the general outlook of the week of August, from the 15th of August till the 21st of August. And it's gonna be a very interesting week actually, because we're having a full moon in Aquarius this week, which is almost also a lunar eclipse. It's not considered fully a lunar eclipse because the shadow just grazes a little bit, but it's gonna be much more intense full moon than other times, almost an eclipse, and it's gonna impact in particular Leos and Aquarius in powerful ways. And we're gonna have lots of aspects between planets which are only harmonious, thanks God, up to the build-up of the Saturn conjunct Mars, which is happening at the start of the week after, which might be more intense, but it's almost like the planets are saying, okay, we're gonna help you prepare before we enter into the more testing time of Mars and Saturn, the two malefics being together the week after that. So it's kind of like they're preparing us psychologically, emotionally, bringing some good things to us. So now let's start first with this full moon happening in Aquarius, which is almost a lunar eclipse as well, which means that people who basically people that are born next week, who are Leos, and people who are Aquarius born from around the 15th to, you know, approximately till even a bit earlier, basically, who have their sun from around the 24th degree in Aquarius, which means that they're probably born around the something like the 11th to around the 16th, possibly 16th possibly of February. They're gonna have this lunar eclipse, this full moon conjunct their sun. And also those of you who are Leos, who are born in the next week from around the 15th, 14th till around the 21st, they also are going to feel this full lunar eclipse. No, it's not full lunar, this very partial small lunar eclipse, but it's a full moon. So it means that over the next 1 year for you, if you're born those days, there'll be a big, huge change in your life. There'll be a huge new beginning in your life. It will be a year that is memorable. It will transform your life in a big way. And even if you're not your sun or in Aquarius or Leo, you might have your moon or your ascendant in Aquarius, like in Leo. Like I have my moon at 24 degrees in Leo, exactly opposite where the eclipse is happening, the full moon. So this full moon is particularly important for me, for example. But you can check whether you have your ascendant or moon or Venus from my birth chart calculator, from the planetary detail table. If you happen to have any planets in Leo or Aquarius from around the 20th to around the 28th degree, this full moon, this partial lunar eclipse for you is really important. It will change the life in whatever that moon indicates. With the moon, something big changes in the place you're living over the next 1 year, or with your family, or with motherhood, or with anything to do with home and a personal life. With the sun, it can change anything to do with your career, anything to do with important male figures or your path in life. With your ascendant, where you're in this life currently, your life will be totally different within a year from this eclipse. If it's your Venus, your relationships are going to transform in a fated big way. But anyway, everyone will feel this full eclipse, this partial eclipse, but full moon in Aquarius, and it will basically bring full moons, bring illumination of some sort, something, especially because it's in Aquarius, the sign of Eureka. Something suddenly flashes up in your mind and you're like, okay, now, wow, this makes sense, because Aquarius is this very intellectual, scientific sign of sudden illuminations, and there might be sudden developments, like information that you receive, or certain aha moments happening in the following 2 weeks, the week of the eclipse and the following 2 weeks after the eclipse, after the full moon, basically in Aquarius, which will activate fast developments, because it's Aquarius, it's sudden, out of the blue, but it will kind of bring you illumination, like clarity about certain matter in your life. For example, a completion or ending of some sort, because the full moon is about, it cannot grow anymore, it's grown to its full potential, so now it has to give results, or you see the results, or you get some illumination, something kind of, it's almost like ready to pop out, for you to understand its fully fruition, so to speak. It's giving its fruits. And for example, for the fire signs, whether it's your ascendant, sun or moon in Aries, Sagittarius or Leo, it means that something some illumination, some culmination, something to do with popularity with other people, some important developments coming to you from other people, because the eclipse is happening in Aquarius, which activates the fire signs people communications, which activates their relationships, it activates their other people basically. So through, you can receive some illumination, some kind of a seeing the results of your actions in regards to other people, or something can come like sudden realizations to you through others, or something can culminate in your relationship in some way. For the air signs, which is Aquarius, Gemini and Libra, this full moon activates your personal inspirations, and it can bring you like some personal conclusion of something that you've done personally with your own personal efforts. So a conclusion of some inspiration, of some creative project, or something that kind of unlocks, or something that allows the full potential of something creative, of something that, some personal goal of yours, and something that you put personal efforts in to manifest, something to do with your confidence as well, and your overall path in life, something that directs you in regards to your overall path in life and kind of changes it in some way, or illuminates you about truths, and that continues 2 weeks after the full moon. And then for water signs, basically for water signs, it's this full moon illuminates your water houses. The water houses, the emotional, something about your personal life that you become clear about, something about your motivations or other people's motivations, something that was hidden behind the surface come to the surface, or some hidden support can appear, or some hidden, something that was kind of, because the emotional houses are about emotional bonds, emotional connections, about psychologically, something that's under the surface, something about your personal life, you know, something that is more intense, psychological, that can be healing as well. They can be like a completion of some emotionally complicated situation that you see the results of, or you have a sudden illumination on how to deal with that. And for the earth signs basically it triggers the full moon your career and material houses, the 6th, 2nd or 10th. So the full moon for the earth signs, whether it's Taurus, whether it's Capricorn, or whether it's Virgo, you can see some illumination, some clarity, sudden clarity that comes to you, some stronger intuition in regards to something to do with finances, money, work, career, or something that is, the universe gives you a fated push and some kind of a development in regards to such material financial situations. Okay, so this is the full moon. Now we have quite a few good aspects happening this week, people. First, for the most of the week, Venus is trine Pluto. Venus is the planet of love. Venus is the planet of beauty. So women, and it's a good aspect, the trine, so women will feel more empowered. Pluto brings us more empowerment overall. Women will feel more deeply connected to their femininity on a psychological level. Where people that are in any kind of Venusian careers, which is beauty, working with women, nurses have also Venusian, art, anything to do with design and harmony, anything to do with diplomacy, with negotiation. This is Venus and beauty. Such people will find themselves being more empowered during this week, having more support in their work, having kind of more insightful, almost like ideas. And Venus generally rules overall relationships, so people can experience, especially towards the middle of the week, empowerment through certain relationships, or some kind of a deeper bonding in relationships, because Pluto is this deep psychological planet that gives you, especially when it makes a good aspect to Venus, gives you an ability to understand some secret in regards to relationship, but in a positive way that is empowering to you or your partner. And Venus also rules money flows, how we handle money. Venus is our self-worth generally, and our self-worth determines our financial income as well. So there might be strengthening of finances as well in the middle, and especially anything to do with other people's resources, which is usually what Pluto rules. Resources that come to you through others, resources that are mutual. So your partner's resources, resources from the government, some loans, money from others, money from clients of yours, and Venus is your finances. Venus is your own money. So when those two planets are in a harmonious aspect, even though it's very short, it's only a few days, it can be good for applying for loans, for example, or for negotiating certain prices with partners, or maybe for to receiving a present from partner or receiving something material, as some good exchange between yours and someone else's resources, whether talents or whether material resources. So if you're expecting some support from someone or want to ask out from support from someone, now this week can be a good time. And especially the earth signs can benefit a lot. The earth sign, because Venus trines Pluto in the earth sign, so it means Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus can benefit that, and they can feel more empowered, more attractive. They have more charm and power over others, personal power as well. While the fire signs can benefit through this Venus trine Pluto through their finances, because in particular it's happening in the earth signs, which in their earth houses for the fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. So somehow they can benefit financially through this, or materially, something in their career, something in their reputation, something in their work that gets resolved more harmoniously and empowers them. The water signs, in regard to relationship, this Venus can impact them better in regards to relationships. And the air signs, this trine is happening for them in the emotional houses, so something on a personal level, something in their personal life, something in their feelings that kind of gets more healed, and receiving kind of a, you know, this soothing influence of the Pluto, and empowering soothing influence of the Pluto trine Venus. Okay, and then we have Mercury conjunct Jupiter almost most of the week, not exact, but towards the end of the week Mercury is conjunct Jupiter very fully, but most of the week it's within 2-3 degrees of Jupiter, and this is happening in Virgo. So again, in the same way that I mentioned for Venus trine Pluto, the water signs will benefit through their relationship somehow. The earth signs will benefit somehow through on a personal level, in their personal life, with their personal goals, with kind of opportunities for their personal goals. The fire signs will benefit financially, materially, or practically, and air signs will benefit on the more spiritual, psychological, emotional level, so to speak. But Mercury conjunct Jupiter, for everyone now I speak, this is a good time if you want to reach out to more people, if you want your voice to be heard. Mercury is communications, and Jupiter expands whatever it's joined with. So now people that are in media, people that are in crafts, people that are in anything to do with hands, anything to do with teaching, anything to do with writing, anything to do with speaking, anything to do with documents, anything to do with communication, anything to do with, Mercury rules all those things, anything to do with administration, marketing, organizing, planning. This is Mercury. All those people can have a very much more successful week, especially towards the end of the week, because Mercury joins Jupiter. They might have more of communications, more of information, more of those mercurial duties which are using the mind, the left, the organizational mind. So these duties can expand, so having more calls, having to communicate more with people, and that's for everyone. It's just communication flows expand that week, especially towards the end more and more. So people exchange more ideas, become more communicative. It can be good for business, and you can basically, the higher mind Jupiter joins the lower mind Mercury. So all of a sudden, instead of seeing just the trees, you see the forest from the trees, and you can see from a bigger perspective, from the higher standpoint, basically things, and especially in regards to practical matters, because this is happening in the sign of Virgo, which is practical, which is rational, which is about material, tangible things. So you can have the chance and opportunity from the end of the week, this whole week, to see matters regarding something financial, material, tangible, practical, from a higher perspective, to expand your vision, to expand your belief about what is possible there, to become more optimistic. And this optimism in your thinking that comes in regards to those matters can attract positive developments to you, and can attract certain auspicious financial development. So it's good for business, for organization. But again, because it is in Virgo, you have to keep making sure that you pay attention to detail. Don't just go for the big picture, because otherwise things can, you might be having some wishful thinking over the top. But we need some optimism, and when Mercury and Jupiter together, we get this mental optimism. And also kind of can be good time to get together with others next week, to reach out, to communicate, to network, to media somehow with others as well, with your contacts. Okay, so for such activities, Mercury and Jupiter are positive. On another level, so expanded travels, possibility more for travel as well overall. And the other very good aspect that's happening is the Sun is trining Uranus, which, what does it mean? Actually, That's a good thing. Mercury, the sun is our vitality overall. It's our joy, whatever the sun is. This is the light. This is where we find meaning. We find kind of how do I say, connection to higher purpose. The sun is our career. So people who are people can have much more energy when the sun trines Uranus, especially the fire sign people, and possibly the air signs to a lesser degree, but the fire sign, whether it's your sun, moon, or ascendant, if you have anything in fire, whether it's your sun or moon or ascendant in Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, the sun now making a trine to Uranus will bring you more inspiration, will bring you more creative genius ideas suddenly that come to you. Again, this eureka moment, because Uranus is the sign of Aquarius and there is a full moon in Aquarius, and kind of this trine between the sun and Uranus, which rules Aquarius, kind of even expands further this eureka, all of a sudden realization that is possible to happen. And it's kind of, your energy expands, you might become excitable, you can meet exciting authority people, because the sun usually rules authority on male figures of some sort. People that are in creative or scientific careers, which is Uranus, or something to do with internet, with media, something to do with Uranus rules all those things, with new technologies, with high-tech things, with alternative careers of any sort, whether it's astrology, whether it's homeopathy, cutting edge, the newest, the coolest type of things. They were going to have a great week. They're going to have more popularity as well. And for the fire and air signs, the sun trine in fire brings popularity for sure, and brings more the ability to reach out to more people, the ability to connect with more people, the ability to reach out to bigger groups of people as well. Yeah, the sun rules male figures. There can be sudden, surprising but positive news from male figures for you, especially towards the end of the week. And then I would just advise you the last 2 days of the week and the first 2 days of next week, from the 22nd of August, not to start anything totally new, because the sun is changing signs from Leo into Virgo, and that's kind of a, unless you can start something, unless you don't have plans for it to be long lasting, something fast that you have to accomplish. But if you want something to be lasting long term, don't start those last 2 days of this week and the first 2 days of next week, because when the sun changes sign, the energy is kind of trying to adjust itself. So yeah, this is what I see for you for next week. Thank you so much. Yeah, Leos will be particularly invigorated because Uranus is making a trine to their sun, to the sun in Leo basically. So that will give them a spark and zest for life a bit more. New adventures, new discoveries, something unusual but in a positive, exciting way happening. While Aquarius will also have, whether it's your sun, moon or ascendant, Aquarius, the sun will trine Uranus, the planet that rules Aquarius. So it also will vitalize you, will bring you more confidence in some way, ability to act and move forward and go for it. So thank you everyone, and I will see you next week. And please, I forgot to mention something. I have a webinar on planets which are retrograde in your birth chart, which will be on the 1st of September, the day Mercury turns retrograde. It's only $20. Those of you who want to subscribe and watch me, it's going to be on the 1st of September. We're going to talk about what it is to have retrograde planets. Is it bad? Is it good? People forever had been saying, oh, retrograde planets is awful, but I want to give you a different perspective from ancient astrology, and I want to give you an in-depth understanding what each planet means if you have it retrograde and how it can affect your life and what to expect. So thank you. I want to demystify this topic, so thank you very much. Subscribe to my channel and follow me on Facebook for new webinars and interesting information.